So, in my very humble analysis, there are two issues that can unify. One is the issue that we should develop a campaign against the financial sector, the speculative sector that is behind almost everything. They are behind the rise in food prices. They were responsible of what we saw 3 years ago. They are responsible of what happened in the U.S. with the housing and all of that. They are responsible of the crisis that we are seeing in Europe. And they are the ones that want to get their hands on the green economy because they want to develop this new market. And they are a very speculative sector. They just want to win money and run away with their money. That's what they are going to do if the green economy begins to be implemented. The good thing is that I think in the US we have a movement. For us it's still something to try to understand, that is Occupy. The good thing about Occupy is that Occupy Wall Street has already seen that this is a key issue. The problem that we see with Occupy is that they see the problem in the US. They don't see the problem for the whole world. They see the problem in relation to their lives. But they see that, of course, Wall Street and those banks are done. We say they are not the 1%, they are the 1% of the 1%. Those guys make trillions of dollars in a weekend. While we are going to finish this, somebody's going to have $1 more billion in its pockets. It's incredible. Through what? Not through production, through speculation. So, can we build a campaign and come all together via Campesina, can continue its campaign on food sovereignty? Nobody has to leave what he's doing, but link that with a common target. When it comes to the indignados in Europe and what's happening in Greece, it's the same issue, the same enemy. And even if you look at, for example, my country, in Bolivia there has been a process of nationalization of different sectors. But we never have touched the banks. In Venezuela it's the same. So, and the banks are the ones that are still winning and making a lot of profits because of this process of speculation. So we think we have to go. I mean, Occupy deals with the issue, and I think we have to learn from them. But they have to learn also from what we want to do. So it has to be back and forth. What I like about Occupy, they want to target some, like Bank of America. And I think we should go after some key speculative financial sectors in all the world. But we also have, for example, to fight, and we were discussing that in this event on the Robin Hood tax. We can ask for regulations in our countries. Maybe in the US it's very difficult, but in many of our countries, if we say we have to regulate this sector and forbid this kind of activities and regulate this other kind of activities, there would be a lot of support. Because it's very difficult to stand as a parliamentarian and say, oh no, we should go on like it is now. So you really can develop a campaign with a lot of support. So the ones that are in the Robin Hood tax, it's very good because in a way they are touching the issue, but the issue is more than just putting a tax, but we also have to put a tax. So we have to combine all of this. And what measures can we apply in relation to food, in relation to the environment and to the no commodification of nature, in relation to carbon trade? Carbon trade is in a speculative market. I mean, what we have seen in the case of Europe, look what happens in the prices. Because in reality, you're not trading with, what are you trading in carbon trade? Papers. They don't have to do nothing with reality. So, it would be great if we are able to move forward and say, hey, we have to join forces and have a concrete campaign in different parts of the world with different approaches, but all targeting the same enemy. That will create them a lot of fear. So that is one possibility that we see. The other possibility that we see, because we see two problems. There are two forces that are going to kill humanity: the financial sector and climate change. Because natural disasters are going to grow and grow in the coming years, not in the coming decades, years. And we need to rebuild what was the movement against climate change that I would say in some way it moved until Copenhagen. But then after Copenhagen, we have moved backwards. And we need to analyze what happened. Where was our mistake? And what can we do? So, to do this, we are calling to a meeting in Bangkok. It will be the end of August, beginning of September, and you're invited. And they are going to come from all over the world. We don't intend to have thousands, but with some hundreds to discuss seriously what to do. What is the idea? The mistake was to focus on the negotiations in the UN. Because even I was ambassador there. Because if you develop a campaign thinking that they are going to do something good, at this moment that's not going to happen. So you cannot move a campaign that's going to just hit itself against the wall, and you're not going to be able to show any victory to your campaign. So what we see is that around the world, first we see a lot of actions that have to do with climate change. Mobilizations against power coal plants, against big dams, against RED, and so on. But the climate change movement is more focused on the negotiation. So we think we have to make it the other way around. First, link what is happening in the ground, in the grassroots. Second, in some countries, maybe it's not the case of the US, I don't know. But in some countries, now that I'm in Asia, for example, they are beginning to discuss what we are going to do as governments in our national plan for climate change. And different social movements have engaged and are saying, hey, yeah, no matter what is going to happen in the climate change negotiation in UNFCCC, we want the government to stop building this coal plant, we want the government to not do this. So not only have concrete actions in relation to local projects or national projects, but also have concrete proposals for the national plans to fight climate change. We cannot, if you have followed the negotiations in the UN, there is always this tendency to say developed countries have to do and developing countries no unless they get finance and transfer of technology. But we don't have no more time. And national governments in developing countries are already taking some kind of measures. We have to act in relation to that. I have seen, for example, in the Thai movement, very interesting, concrete proposals of what to do in relation to climate change in Thailand. So that's a second level. A third level is we need to have an impact over the UNCCC negotiations. But from the national level, because I had a meeting with the Thai, and I have learned from them, but then I asked them, what did you say to your government in relation to the position that your government has to bring to the next Bonn meeting that was 2 months ago? And they say, oh, we didn't discuss that. So, hey, we can not only ask for this in relation to Thailand, but this should be the position in relation to the UN.